you, that's 3 decades. This is one great man. He's been in politics for more than 3 decades, and we're going to keep him there. I don't know, do we consider ambassadors politicians? Not really in the true sense, so perhaps we sort of pulled you out, but he's going to be doing a job. I'll tell you one quick story with Terry. When I was campaigning in Iowa, Terry would always say, do me a favor, don't say anything bad about China. See, in that day, those days he didn't call me Mr. President. He'd say, Donald. He'd say, Donald, don't say anything bad about China. I said, why? He said, we have a great relationship with China, and I like it, and I really like President Xi, who he knew for 30-some-odd years. And it really dawned on me when I was thinking about ambassadors. I said, boy, wouldn't it be great if I picked a man that really likes China, and by the way, China really likes him? So that was an easy one. I called him up and I said, you know, I think after 24 years, it's maybe time for a change. So let me just steal you. I also knew about Kim, and Kim's been a great supporter and friend, and so I knew that that was going to be taken care of very nicely. So we're really happy and really proud of Terry. You know, his legacy will endure for a long, long time in this state. He loves the state and the people so much. And together we all join to express our deep gratitude to Terry for everything he has done for Iowa and for its people. Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much, and have a good time in China.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. For a farm kid from Iowa, my life's ambition was to serve the people as governor. I never imagined in my wildest dreams that President Trump would ask me to represent all of the United States of America in China. I will do my very best. Mr. President, first of all, I want to congratulate you on your leadership. We've been trying to get American beef in China for 13 years, and you've already got it done. So, and there's more to come. I am honored and proud to represent the United States of America and President Trump in the People's Republic of China, and I hope a lot of you will come to see us. Thank you.
Thank you. Great guy. Ambassador Branstad will be serving in Beijing, but he's going to be fighting for American farmers and for American workers and for Americans, and there's nobody I can think of that can do a better job or a more effective job. So, Terry, go out there. He'll be joining Secretary of Agriculture, somebody you all know very well, the legendary Sonny Perdue. And a man who's another legend on Wall Street, truly a legend. They just call him Wilbur. How about Wall Street? Where Wall Street's big and strong, and he's just known as Wilbur. It's Wilbur Ross. Wilbur Ross, Secretary of Commerce. Pretty good on Wall Street when they just say, I hear Wilbur is going to be Secretary of Commerce. Carl Icahn called me up. He said, Donald, I heard you got Wilbur. That was it. It wasn't Wilbur Ross, but there's Wilbur Ross, and he's doing a fantastic job. And also working along with Wilbur is U.S. Trade Ambassador Robert Lighthizer, another phenomenal talent. And I told you about fair trade. I told you about free trade. I told you about trade. We have the best in the world on our sides now, finally, after watching for many, many decades what's been happening with trade deficits that are beyond anything that anybody could imagine. Hundreds of billions of dollars, and now we have the right people on our side. So Wilbur, go out and do it. Robert, go out and do it. We'll all have a good time together. And you know what? The world is going to like us even better, believe it or not. So they're going to be representing They're going to be representing America's interests and delivering historic wins for our farmers and our factory workers and our workers generally. And I have to tell you, last night was very exciting. Karen Handel and Ralph Norman. Ralph Norman. I spoke to Ralph today. He won a great event. Now, a lot of people didn't show up to vote because they said, well, he's going to win by so much. So it got a little bit tighter than he thought. Sometimes when they think you're going to win by too much, I wouldn't say that's so good. Next time we're going to say it's going to be really close, but he still won easily. But what a fantastic guy he is. And between the two of them, that was a big night. So we're 5-0 in special elections, 5-0. 5-0. And I watched the faces on those newscasters in many cases. And they were going, oh, this is going to be a big night. This will be great humiliation for President Trump. If she doesn't make it, well, they weren't thinking in terms of Ralph so much. In all fairness, Ralph sort of said he felt like the forgotten man last night. But this will be tremendous humility. They built these studios. They built everything. They were set, believe me. Had our wonderful candidate lost, this would have been one of the great big stories in the history of American politics. Those studios would have been up for weeks. They would have been talking for weeks about this tremendous defeat. And after it said projected winner was they just sort of slinked out of there. They slinked out. One of them actually said, well, maybe it was the weather. You know, it was drizzling, a little bit like this, but a little bit less. It was drizzling. Did you hear that one, Ambassador? It was drizzling. Maybe that was the difference. And won by a lot. Won by a lot. So we're very happy, and Karen is going to be a great person in Congress, and we have some incredible people, and we're doing some really wonderful things, including the taxes are coming along, and the health care is coming along. And we have Gary Cohn, the president of Goldman Sachs, who left Goldman Sachs on a slightly higher salary than he's getting right now by like hundreds of millions of dollars, like by a lot. And where's Gary? He's around here someplace. And Gary's working on some incredible plans, not only taxes, but we're going to be rebuilding our country. We're going to do things in terms of infrastructure that we need, our roads, our highways, our bridges, our schools, our airports. We spent, as of a few months ago, $6 trillion in the Middle East. We have nothing. We're back further than we were 16 years ago when this whole thing started. $6 trillion. And if you want to spend $3.50 to build a school, or you want to spend any money in this country, it's like a big deal. But we spent $6 trillion in the Middle East, and we're going to get that whole situation under control. It's not an easy one. I was dealt a very difficult hand, believe me, when I took over, between North Korea, the Middle East. You look at Afghanistan, what's going on there. This was a tough hand, but you put me there for a reason, and I think you're going to be very happy with the end result, believe me. American farmers and ranchers are the best, absolute best at what they do. And they can compete anywhere if they're given a level playing field. They're not given that level playing field because of our terrible, terrible trade deals. And we're going to start doing much better. You produce the product, but you have to work too hard and too long to make a living. We're cracking down on foreign trading abuses, making it easier to produce and grow in America, eliminating job-killing regulations all over the place. And we're training our great American workers. That's why it's so important to support schools like Kirkwood, which are helping to train young people in cutting-edge new technologies that will make American agriculture greater and more productive than ever before. Farming, which is something that is very beautiful to me. I'm not a farmer, but I'd be very happy to be one. It's a very beautiful world to me. And it's a truly noble American profession. Today we're celebrating the dignity of work and the greatness of the American farmer and the American worker. George Washington once wrote, "I'd rather be on my farm than be emperor of the world." We understand that. Especially after I spend all this time in Washington, I can really understand. I want to make sure the next generation of Americans has that opportunity as well. And in particular, that includes your children and your grandchildren, and working very hard to get rid of the death tax so that those farms can be passed on. Very, very hard to get rid of that. We're working very hard so your farms can be passed on to your children and your grandchildren, and they'll keep them going and they'll run them with love. We want to eliminate the intrusive rules that undermine your ability to earn a living, and we will protect the corn-based ethanol and biofuels that power our country. And you remember during the campaign I made that promise. And I also made a promise I'm coming back. And here I am, and that promise has been kept. And even Terry's clapping on that one, but he was fighting very hard for that, believe me. For the past 2 weeks, my administration has been working extensively on vocational education, infrastructure, and technology. Here at this great facility, we've just seen fantastic examples of how vocational training in new technologies can help make American farming even more productive, so we can compete and win, win, win on the world stage. We saw how today's farmers can adjust application rates of fertilizers in their fields with just the touch of a smartphone. It's changed a lot over the years. They showed us how they use precision agriculture to produce crops more efficiently and for far less cost. They've demonstrated how drones, of all things, are used to gather data on crops, and how simulators are used to train students in the next generation of farming equipment. If we continue to train our workers in these new technologies, then we will usher in a new era of prosperity for American agriculture and for the American farming family. We must also ensure that these students have the broadband internet access they need in order to succeed and thrive in this new and very modern and very changed economy and world. That is why I will be including a provision in our infrastructure proposal, $1 trillion proposal, you'll be seeing it very shortly, to promote and foster enhanced broadband access for rural America also. We know that Wall Street wants it very badly, but you know what else? The farmers also want it, and you're going to have it. We have to make sure American farmers and their families, wherever they may be, wherever they may go, have the infrastructure projects that they need to compete and grow. And I mean grow against world competition, because that's who you're up against now. We will rebuild rural America. American farmers, thank you. American farmers pour their hearts into their crops and their love into their great communities. That's why they call this the Heartland. And those maps those electro maps, they were all red. Beautiful red. Beautiful. You look at those maps, it's almost like, wow. A lot of places that people weren't thinking about turned red. A couple of little blue dots on the sides, but they are red farmers. And our farmers' work ethic feeds America, and their toughness and grit define America. They're tough and they're smart. Our rich and abundant soil provides more than a living. It provides a beautiful way of life for a lot of people. Today we honor and treasure this noble history and embrace the new technology that will power this industry well into the future. With incredible leaders and students like all of you, I know that the future of American farming has never looked brighter. Believe me, and with me as your president, it's going to be that way. I will tell you that. So it's a great honor to be here with you today. People that I know, people that I love, very special people, the people of Iowa that were so good to me during the election. So many friends. I want to thank you for being here. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I have a lot of opinions this evening, but I had the opportunity about 3 weeks ago, in all seriousness. I'm a 7th-generation Iowa farm boy. I've got 3 sons. I think a lot about our future. When you're a history professor, you sometimes do. And I had a chance to talk to Donald Trump for 45 minutes. Let me tell you how that 45 minutes went. We sat and we talked, and he asked questions. He listened. He answered follow-up questions. He talked to us. He knew details about the states that were there in the Oval Office with him. Folks, I have been around the block many, many times in politics, but I'm going to take off my Republican Party chair hat, and I'm going to put on the hat of a proud Iowan and a proud father. And let me tell you something. Thank God this man has taken his place in the Oval Office for my grandchildren and yours. So one final word, and I need you guys to help me out here, because I have the media constantly saying, oh, I don't know if Iowa's wavering. I'm going to leave you with this and walk off the stage. And press, this is for you. Try reporting it sometime. How many of you stand with Donald J. Trump tonight? Absolutely.
Wow! Jeff just dropped the mic. Hi. Wow. That's what we call in the business dropping the mic. Jeff, way to go. That was awesome. Okay, y'all sit down, relax. We can all take a breath. He's 100% right. Thank you for standing up. That's a really good visual. But he's right. We'll never see it. But what we will see now is, I got to share with you, our next guest is a huge treat. She's not only a dear friend of mine, she's not only Eric Trump's beautiful wife, she's Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, she's the senior advisor on the campaign, and she's not only beautiful on the inside as well as the outside, she's a soon-to-be mother. Would you put your hands together for Laura Trump?
I am so excited to get out of New York
and be right here in Iowa among all my fellow deplorables. As you heard, my name is Laura Trump, and I am so proud to say that I am the daughter-in-law of our president, Donald J. Trump. You know, I had the incredible opportunity throughout the campaign to travel around the great country. I was here in your state very often with Tana. And I have to tell you, everywhere I went, I said the same thing. I said I could not wait until January 20th, 2017, when I could officially call my father-in-law the President of the United States. And let me tell you something else. Ladies and gentlemen, we are over 5 months in, and it is not getting old yet, is it? You know, this hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy for our family. It certainly has not been easy for the president. It would have been much easier for Donald Trump to do what so many other people have done and say, you know what, this country is going in the wrong direction. I know it, we all see it, but I'll be okay, my family will be okay, most everyone I know will probably be fine. But you see, that's not the kind of guy that Donald Trump is. Because Donald Trump loves this country. Donald Trump loves the people of this country. He loves the military. He loves our law enforcement. And he saw what was happening in this country. He saw a country that had given him everything crumbling before his very eyes. Let's not forget, this country has made Donald Trump the epitome of the American dream. And he saw that being stripped away from all of us, and he said, you know what? I know that I'm the only person who can bring the American dream back. And that is why he is in the Oval Office working harder than I've ever seen him work. And we saw him work pretty hard on that campaign trail, didn't we? I have never seen him work as hard as he is right now because all matter to Donald Trump. Because he has one concern and one concern only, you, the American people. And I think we can all agree, this was not a normal election. It was not just a campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a movement in our country. This was the American people saying enough is enough. We are sick and tired of what we see happening in Washington, D.C. We are sick and tired of having no representation there, and we're taking our country back. That's what happened on November 8th. By the way, did anybody see what happened in Georgia last night? We are 4-0, ladies and gentlemen. And you look at the other side, I gotta say, looks like they're struggling a little bit, aren't they? You know what? Our president is doing an incredible job across the board. I am so proud of him. But I have to say thank you to all of you. Because as you heard, I am pregnant with my first child due in September. This will be the president's 9th grandchild, but I am so happy that I can bring my son into a world where Donald Trump is our president. So thank you for voting him into office, because all of you made it happen. And we're going to do it again in 2020, aren't we? And we feel the love and support. I have so many people come up to me to tell me they're still supporting the president, that they haven't lost faith, that they know that he's doing an incredible job. Keep up the faith, folks. He is killing it in Washington, D.C. And the only reason you hear bad stuff is because they are very scared of what they know he's going to do. They have 7.5 more years, so I suggest they buckle up, right?
Thank you on behalf of my entire family. Thank you for supporting our family. Thank you for supporting our president. Thank you for supporting our country. It is so incredible to be among you today. And back here in Iowa, I had some of the greatest times here during the campaign. And I'll leave you with one thought. I knew we were going to win this election. So
I can't hear you.
You know there's dinner up here, right? What? There's
So, didn't you? So many people ask me, so many times I was interviewed, so many people asked me, they said, do you really think that Donald Trump could win? I said, absolutely, I know he's going to win. And I'll tell you how I knew. Because everywhere I went, I had people coming up to me saying, we're praying for you, we are praying for your family, we are praying for Donald Trump. God was in this election, folks, don't forget it. It has been so nice to be with you tonight, Iowa. Thank you so much. The next act is the big act, so thank you for having me tonight. God bless you.
Hey, I'm Steve Luckner. This is Liz Willis. We're about to hear President Trump speak. Laura Trump just said that President Trump is up next, so we're waiting for him. And right now, we just want to say hello to everybody out there watching on YouTube and Facebook. And we appreciate you watching. We've been having a lot of fun covering this today. After the rally, we'll have the post show where we talk to people in the audience. But we also want to let you know how to donate to us because we are viewer supported, and you make it possible for us to be on the air and be an alternative to the mainstream media and to cover these rallies. So, Liz, people want to donate. How can they do that?
Sure. Thank you, Steve. And I just want to thank everyone at home who's watching and those who are behind the scenes. We have a new camera guy today named Landon. Thank you, Landon, for helping out. Thank you, Joe and Jacob at home in the producing studio. So there's 3 ways to help contribute to RSBN. There's actually more, but financially there's 3 ways. We'll get to those first. You can donate on PayPal, and that's rsbn.tv/donate.
I'm going to make you repeat that for them.
rsbn.tv/donate. There's also, right now on YouTube, you can click the $, and it's called Super Chat. So you just click the $, and you can do any amount. Every penny helps. And the third thing is called Patreon, which is a viewer membership-based account. You can sign in, subscribe monthly, and then you get access to secret little VIP meetings and concerts. And you get free stuff like hats, you know, whatever else they decide to make that month you get. So it's 3 different options that you're welcome to join. We appreciate everything. And please don't forget to like us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and share the account. Also share the stream for us today. That would just be a huge blessing to us if you share the stream. And Steve, did I miss anything?
No, I mean that's a lot of stuff. It just all the stuff when they like us on YouTube, they like our videos. More YouTube suggests it to more people. Also, Right Side Broadcasting on Twitter is at RSB Network. You are
@_Liz Willis on Twitter.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to move the mic away. Say that again.
On Twitter, I am @_Liz Willis, LIZWILLIS.
And I am at Lookner, at LOOKNER. And so you can subscribe to Right Side on YouTube, and when you do that, click on the notifications bell, and that way, like whenever we go live with a video, might be a breaking news video, might be a political story, you can you'll get a notification that way. So that's good. You know, we're waiting for him to speak. I'm not sure if it'll be right now or a couple minutes from now because he was speaking elsewhere in Iowa. And but we talked. You know, I talked to a lot of people today, Liz, and it just seemed to be like a lot of people. I talked to a lot of people who were from Iowa today. How about you?
Yeah, a lot of Iowa, some Chicago, but for the most part, relatively close, within 4 hours of this location.
In Minnesota, too, I talked to a bunch of Minnesota people, too. So a lot of people, first-time rally goers, and they seem to really be looking forward to the rally. So I think I'm really interested in hearing what he has to say today. I can see him talking about a lot of different things. Is he going to mention the election last night? We'll see. Is he going to talk about... there's so many things. Is he going to mention what happened in Saudi Arabia where they picked a new heir? I don't know. Is he going to mention taxes, healthcare? So much.
There's also Cuba, but one thing about these rallies and a thing about Trump is that he's also an entertainer. He is an entertaining man. And no matter how many times we can study beforehand the rallies and say, oh, he's going to talk about healthcare, tax reform, we are always almost wrong, and he just talks about whatever's on his heart that day. But I do guarantee he's going to mention the special elections last night because he worked hard on that and he is proud of the outcome.
You're right, because I'm thinking back to the rally we did where it was the same. We did a rally where it was the same day as the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and when he came in, and it was the White House Correspondents' Dinner was going on at the same time, but he wasn't there intentionally, and he spent like 10 minutes, and he had so much fun with the crowd, just talking about how happy he was with them and not with the people at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I think he could do something like that tonight, where he just comes out for 10 minutes and just jokes around with the audience and has fun with it. So maybe he'll do it. And I agree with you, he's an entertainer, so he might want to do that. So we'll see if he does. So I think you might be right about that, Liz.
Thank you, Steve. I look